We're going to start lying down. It seems like a good place to start. Right, so... Oh, God, Teresa, right? Too much Zoom. I'm so tired of seeing my face on a screen. All right, into your belly. Let the back side of your body sink into the mat. All right, take a full breath in. And a long breath out. And as you exhale, really feel your body get heavy. You could do that again. Take a full breath in. And another long, slow breath out. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Soften the skin on your face. Unhinge your jaw. And begin to settle in here, right? Kind of shake off the day, the Zoom meetings, the phone calls, the interruptions, right? Whatever life threw at you today, can you just put it aside for now, right? And come into this place, this very magical, very sacred space of your mat. Right, and as you start to drop in, begin to notice. Notice sensation, notice breath, notice sound. Hey, hey Sam. Right. Knowing that, if you drift off into some thought about the day or other place or where you're going next, right? It's okay. It's a very normal thing to do, but can you just come back? Right, and as you breathe in and you breathe out, you fill up. Each breath awakening up the body, breathing life into the body, places that were still throughout the day. Places that are stiff, cranky. Right? Use the magic of the breath to soften. We all have this magic within us. I often say that the breath is a superpower, right? But we do, right? We have this magic within us, and oftentimes we forget it. And lately, I've been practicing a lot at home, which I've never had a home practice. But what's been happening a lot lately is instead of taking a class, I just get on my mat and use my breath to tap into my body and breathe and move, and it becomes this very magical space and practice and flow. And so that will be the inspiration for today. So can you breathe into that magic, right, within your heart, within your soul, that magic that is authentically you, and move from that space today? Right, it requires this being present and aware. And start to deepen the breath. Maybe you move your fingers and your toes. And you're going to hug both of the knees in towards your chest. You're going to wrap your forearms around your shins. You're going to give yourself a hug, right? And you're going to acknowledge that you're this magical being. Right? It is a full moon tonight. Super moon, I believe. You're going to take a breath in and a breath out. That left leg is going to go out long onto the mat, and the right leg is going to reach up towards the ceiling. So the sole of the foot is shining up to the sky. You're going to take your hands and you're going to reach behind your thigh, right? And on the inhale, you're going to stretch through the sole of the foot, and on the exhale, you're going to just really bring that thigh closer to you, right? Get a nice hamstring stretch there. Right, if you want to put the sole of your left foot on the mat instead of having your leg out long, if that's more comfortable for you, you can do that. Right, so you breathe in to lengthen, and on the exhale, you bring the leg closer to you, stretching out the back side of the leg. Whew. Good, do that one more time. You breathe in and you lengthen, really stretch through the foot, and on the exhale, you bring the leg closer to your face, right? Shoulders are on the mat. Beautiful. You're going to take a breath in. You're going to bend that right knee, and you're going to reach for the outside of the right foot, and you're going to come into half of a happy baby. So that foot is still shining up towards the ceiling, right? The right knee is coming down towards the right armpit. Right? Gentle hip opener. Don't force it. Don't, yank it down towards the ground. Just a gentle awakening, breathing life right into the hips. I don't know about you, but my hips are particularly cranky from sitting in a dining room chair to work. Right? You take a breath in and a breath out, right? And you're still noticing, and you're dropping in, and you're kind of noticing what's wakening up in your body. You're going to release the grip on your foot. You're going to keep the right knee bent. You're going to take the left hand to the outside of the right knee. You're going to cross it over the body. That right arm can go out to the side. You can look out over the left shoulder. Keep the shoulder blades on the mat, right? Beautiful. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, you're going to come back to center, and that right leg is going to go out long to the mat, or you can put the sole of the right foot onto the mat, whichever you prefer. We have another side, right? You know that's coming up. No magic in that. Take a breath in. That left leg is going to lift up towards the sky. You're going to stretch the sole of the left foot up towards the ceiling. Reach behind the left thigh, clasp your hands. You take a breath in, you lengthen on the inhale, and on the exhale, you bring that leg in towards your chest. Right, and you notice this side, the sensation, right? Maybe it's different. Maybe you get into your head about why it's different, but just come back, right? Come back to what you're feeling in this moment. Beautiful. Take a breath in, right? You're still lengthening, and on the exhale, you're bringing that leg in towards you. Right? I think sometimes it's really easy to forget this magic that we have, and then when we tap into it, it's like, oh, yeah, it's there, and that changes the perspective of how we see things. Right? Hey, Leah. And it also, right, that spreads out to other people. You're You're gonna take a breath in, you're gonna bend that left knee, you're gonna reach for the outside edge of that left foot, come into half of a happy baby, sole of the left foot shining up towards the ceiling. Spine is long on the mat. Right, and sometimes the discovering the magic, right, or the breath, the superpower within you is very much of an awakening. Dropping into the body and the senses. Take a breath in, release the grip you have on your left foot. You're gonna keep that left knee bent. Take the right hand to the outside of the left knee, cross it over the body, right? That left arm can go out long. You can look out over the right shoulder. Beautiful, take a breath in and a breath out. You're gonna come back to center. You're gonna hug both knees into the chest. You're gonna rock front to back, and you're gonna make your way to your knees. So your hips are gonna be stacked over your knees. Your toes can be tucked, or they can be, the tops of your feet can be flat on the mat. Right, so you're sitting here, you're on your knees, your shoulders are stacked over your hips, which are stacked over your knees. You're gonna take a breath in. Your arms are gonna reach up overhead. You're gonna interlace all but your index finger, right? So Charlie's Angels. When I was little, I used to go to my grandmother's house on Friday nights and we would watch Dukes of Hazzard and Charlie's Angels. We would get to stay up late. I always think of her when I do this with my hands. You're gonna take a breath in and you're gonna lengthen. And then on the exhale, you're gonna lean, stretch over to the right. Right, keep your weight evenly distributed. Take a breath in, you come back to center, and on the exhale, you're gonna stretch over to the left, roll that right shoulder onto the back, really press through the fingertips. Beautiful, take a breath in, you come back to center, one more on each side. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, you lean towards the right. When you talk about magic, I thought Charlie's Angels, they were magical, man. Take a breath in, you come back to center. Exhale, you lean over to the left, stretch it out. Beautiful, come back to center. Unclasp the hands, you're gonna come into goalpost arms. Right? You're gonna hug the belly into the spine, let the shoulders fall away from your ears. You're gonna take a breath in, and on the exhale, you're gonna lean towards the right so that elbow moves down towards the ground. Inhale, you come back up to center. Exhale, you tap over to the left. Like pretend that you could reach that elbow down to the mat. Inhale, you come back to center. Exhale, you lean over to the right. Inhale, you come back up. Exhale, you go to the left. Right, you got it. Take a breath in, you come back up. Really press through the hands. Hug the belly in. Little core work here. Lean over to the left. Do one more on each side. Take a breath in, and you lean over on the left side. You come back to center, arms reach up overhead on an inhale. Exhale, you're gonna plant your hands and you're gonna step back to downward facing dog. Right, here we are in down dog, right? Your hands are spread wide on the mat. Your feet are hip bone distance. The heels are sinking towards the mat, right? Shoulders are moving away from your ears. Hug the belly button in. Hips are lifting up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. You're gonna glide forward to high plank. Right, breathe in here, soften up, lighten up. Right. The shoulders are stacked over the wrists. Thigh bones are lifting up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in, exhale, downward facing dog. Right, and sometimes we have to make our own magic. Sometimes it's a mindset. Take a breath in, you glide forward to high plank. So maybe for you, this is not a magical pose, right? We all have those poses that are challenge us. And then we have those poses that feel very magical. Like half moon is one of those for me, right? You take a breath in and a breath out. Exhale, you push back to downward facing dog. But what if you told yourself it was magical? Take a breath in. You glide forward to high plank. You fill up with breath. You notice what's coming alive, what's waking up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. You take a breath in. You're going to look forward, walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Right, halfway lift on an inhale. So reach the hands behind your back, roll the shoulders onto your back, reach forward, spine is long, crown of the head's reaching towards the front of the room. Beautiful. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Interlace all but the index fingers, ground down in through your feet. Take a breath in. Exhale, you lean over to the right. Inhale, you come back to center. Exhale, you stretch over to the left. Inhale, you come back to center, unclasp your hands, maybe you look up. Exhale, you keep it moving, you fold forward. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold, you plant your hands, you step back to plank, you pause there in plank. You take a full breath in and a long breath out. You're still in plank. You take a breath in. On the exhale, you lower down. Right? Heart lifts to cobra. So heart lifts, hands are light. Use your core, lift yourself up. Exhale, you lower down and you push back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in and a breath out. You look forward, walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Interlace all but the index fingers. You got to take a breath in. Exhale, you lean over to the right. Inhale, you come back to center. Exhale, you lean over to the left. Inhale, you come back to center. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. You plant your hands. You step back to plank. You lower down. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'm going to move through that one more time. You take a breath in. You look forward. Walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, you rise to standing. Interlace all but the index fingers. Ground down on an inhale. Exhale, you lean to the right. Inhale, you come back to center. Exhale, you stretch the side body over to the left, keeping the weight evenly in your feet. Beautiful. Come back to center on a breath in. Exhale, you fold forward. Right, halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you plant your hands. You step back to plank. You pause here in plank. So you're in plank. Really press down into your hands. Let the back side of your body, the top side of your body get light, right? Magic, like you're floating. Really press down. Thigh bones are lifting up towards the ceiling. Shoulders are stacked over the wrists. Take a breath in. On the exhale, you're gonna drop the heels over to the right. So you're still in plank. Don't let your body shift back into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Heels come back to center. On the exhale, they drop over to the left. Find the magic. Smooth out the breath. Take a breath in. You come back to center. On the exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. You're going to walk your hands back to your feet. Feet go wide to the edges of the mat. Grab opposite elbows. Come into ragdoll. Right? Let the head and neck release. right? There is something very magical about the ability to let go of the thoughts in our head, to let go of the stories, right? To breathe into the moment and into possibility. Maybe there's a slight bend in your knee. Maybe you sway side to side. You take a breath in, fingertips come down to the mat, left hand stays down, right hand comes up. You bend into that left knee, twist open. Right, but the magic doesn't come if we have a closed heart. You have to be open to it, open to the possibility. You gotta believe just a little bit. Take a breath in, right hand comes down, bend into the right knee, left hand lifts up to the sky, open up, roll that left shoulder onto the back. Beautiful, take a breath in, left hand comes down, you're gonna toe heel your feet back to hip distance. Halfway lift on an inhale, exhale, you fold, you're gonna walk your hands back out to downward facing dog. Right, so you're in downward facing dog. You take a breath in, you lift the right leg behind you on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward in between your hands. Right? You're gonna drop the back knee. You're gonna come up into Anjaneyasana. So the arms can reach up overhead or they can come to the top of the right thigh. I like to start at the right thigh. You're gonna bend into that right knee so the right knee can move past the ankle. You breathe here, breathing into the hip. Right, your hands can stay here, they can come overhead, and if they're overhead, let the shoulders soften away from your ears. Take a breath in. The hands are gonna come down, they're gonna frame the left foot, or the right foot. You're gonna straighten the right leg, shift your hips back, and come into a runner's lunge. So the right heel, you're gonna be on the right heel, toes are reaching up towards the ceiling. You probably feel that in your hamstring. You're gonna take a breath in, you're gonna come back to a low lunge. So that right knee is stacked over the right ankle, you're on the ball of the left foot. You're gonna take a breath in, you're gonna step back to plank. You're gonna pause for an inhale and an exhale. Breathe in the magic. Exhale all the other stuff. You're gonna push back to downward facing dog. We're gonna do that on the other side. You're gonna take a breath in and the left leg's gonna lift on an inhale. Exhale, you're gonna step it in between your hands, drop the back knee, come up into Anjaneyasana. So again, you can start with the hands on the thigh, bend into that left knee, let the left knee come past the ankle. You're on the fleshy part of your right knee. The right toes can be tucked or they can be flat. The top of the foot can be flat on the mat. Right, and you breathe and you notice here what comes up, like, ugh, this is irritating, agitation, oh, I like this pose, this feels good, right? Notice all of those things. And can you breathe some ease into it? A little bit of magic. A little bit of wild. Take a breath in. The hands are gonna come down to frame the left foot. You're gonna straighten the left leg, shift the hips back over to the right heel. Runner's stretch here on that left side. Take a breath in. You're gonna rebend that left knee, come back to a low lunge. So you're gonna tuck the right toes. You're gonna step back to plank, you're gonna pause. You're gonna take a breath in and a breath out. Your next exhale, you're gonna make your way back to downward facing dog. Right leg lifts on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward in between your hands. You're gonna drop the back knee. You're gonna come up to Anjaneyasana. So this time, I want the arms to come up overhead, interlace all but the index fingers, right? You see a pattern here, Charlie's Angels. You take a breath in and you lengthen. And then on the exhale, you lean over to the right. Take Take a breath in, you come back to center. You're breathing in here, and you notice you're going to take a breath in, unlace the fingers, hands come down to frame the right foot. You're going to tuck the left toes. You're in a low lunge. So now that right knee is stacked over the right ankle. Beautiful. Take a breath in and a breath out. The left hand's going to stay down. The right hand's going to come up. You're going to twist open. Exhale, the right hand comes down to the mat. You step back to plank. You take a breath in. Exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra, and you make your way back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in, and the left leg lifts on that inhale. Exhale, you step it forward in between your hands, come up to Anjaneyasana, so that left knee comes past the left ankle, arms reach up overhead, interlace up at the index fingers. You take a breath in, you lengthen up towards the ceiling, and on the exhale, you lean over to the left. Right, hug the belly button in, maybe you wobble. Take a breath in, you come back to center, you pause here, let the shoulders soften. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Exhale, the hands come down to frame the left foot. You come up to the ball of the right foot. You're in a low lunge. Right hand stays down, left hand comes up. Low lunge twist. And you take a breath in. Exhale, you step back to high plank. Exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale. And on the exhale, you make your way back to downward facing dog. All right, here we go. Take a breath in. Right leg lifts to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward in between your hands. This time, you're going to stay on the ball of the right foot. So you're in a low lunge, right? So your hands are framing the right foot. You're going to take a breath in. You're going to reach your hands in front of you, clasp your all but the index fingers. You got it. You take a breath in. You're going to ground down into the right foot, and you're going to come up into warrior three. Right? So that left leg is lifted. You're standing on the right foot. You're grounding down into all four corners. You're really stretching through the fingers towards the front of the room. Beautiful. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, you're going to step the left foot back. You're in a low lunge. Inhale, you're going to rise to high crescent lunge. Keep your hands interlaced. You take a breath in. Exhale, you lean towards the right. Inhale, you come back to center. Unclasp your hands. Exhale, the hands come down to frame the foot. Left hand stays down, right hand comes up. Low lunge twist. Beautiful. Take a breath in and a breath out. Exhale, you step back to plank. You lower down. Your heart lifts to cobra on an inhale, and then you make your way back to downward facing dog, where we will do that on the other side. Right? And sometimes the magic is in the unknown, right? So the first time you do it, you don't know where we're going, right? You try to figure it out. I always try to figure it out. Where are they going? Am I going to get it right? Am I not going to get it right? But then the second side, you know. So can you make it magic, right? Can you stay in the pose, in the moment? Take a breath in. Left leg lifts in the air behind you. Exhale, you step it forward in between your hands, low lunge. Remember, we're going to stay in a low lunge. You're going to take a breath in. The arms are going to reach in front of you. Maybe you're clasped, interlaced your hands the funky way, right? That feels funny. Right? You're going to take a breath in and a breath out. Keep reaching those fingertips towards the front of your room. Ground down into the left foot, warrior three. Flex through the right foot like you want to put your footprint on the back wall. Hug the belly button into the spine, the heart's reaching forward. Beautiful. Take a breath in. On the exhale, the right foot steps to the back of the mat. You come up to high crescent lunge. The hands are still interlaced. Right, so that left knee stacked over the left ankle. Take a breath in. On the exhale, you're gonna lean over to the left. Hands are still interlaced. You got it. Take a breath in. You come back to center. Unclasp the hands. Hands come down to frame the left foot. Right hand stays down. Left hand comes up. Low lunge twist. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Exhale, that left hand comes down to the mat. You step back to plank. You pause and plank. You take a breath in and a breath out. Exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, you step it in between your hands. Hi, Kristen. You're in a low lunge. You're gonna take a breath in. The arms are gonna reach out in front of you. Clasp your hands. You got it. Take a breath in. You ground down into the right foot. Left foot lifts up. Warrior three. All right, you hug the belly button in. You press down into the right foot. You take a breath in. Exhale, left toes touch down. Come up to high crescent lunge. Arms are still overhead. Fingers are interlaced. Beautiful. Take a breath in. You're going to unclasp the hands. Hands are going to come to heart center. You're going to lean over the right thigh, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. So really press the hands together. They're moving towards the heart. Roll the right shoulder onto the back. All right, the spine lengthens on an inhale, and on the exhale, you open up. Like breathe magic, breathe life into this pose. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Left hand stays down, right hand comes up, low lunge twist. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Exhale, the right hand comes down to the mat. You step back to plank. You pause. You take a breath in. Exhale, you lower down. Heart lifts to cobra on an inhale, and on the exhale, you make your way back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in. Left leg lifts on an inhale. Exhale, you step it forward in between your hands. You're in a low lunge. Inhale, the arms reach out in front of you. Interlace the fingers. You take a breath in, warrior three. Keep those fingers lifting towards the front of the room. Heart's reaching forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, those right toes touch down at the back of the mat. You come up to high crescent lunge. Arms are still lifted overhead. You take a breath in and a breath out. You unclasp the hands. Hands come to heart center. Inhale, you lean forward over the left thigh, right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Twist open. You breathe here and you notice. Maybe you tell yourself you're magic. Maybe you're not feeling very magical, but you tell yourself that you are. Sometimes you have to have little pep talks with yourself, you know. Take a breath in, exhale, the hands come down to frame the left foot. Right hand stays down, left hand comes up, twist open. Right? You're doing a great job. You're magic on the mat tonight, right? Beautiful. Take a breath in. The left hand comes down. You step back to plank. You pause and plank. You breathe. You breathe in. You breathe out. You tell yourself you're magic. You tell yourself you're strong. Take a breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts to the sky in an inhale. Exhale, you step it in between your hands, low lunge. Inhale, arms reach up in front of you. Interlace all but the index fingers. Take a breath in. Warrior three. Straighten the right leg, left leg lifts. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Exhale, the left toes touch down. You're in high crescent lunge. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. You lean forward over the left thigh. Or right thigh, sorry. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Low lunge twist here. Really press those palms together. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Exhale, hands frame the right foot. Left hand stays down. Right hand reaches up. Low lunge twist. Take a breath in. All right, listen up. So the right hand's gonna come down. You're gonna spin the left foot. You're gonna come up into warrior two, facing the left side of the room, right? Big, powerful, magic pose. Take up space. You bend into the right knee stacked over the right ankle. That right thigh is parallel to the mat. The right hand's reaching towards the front of the room. The left hand's reaching towards the back of the room. Let the shoulders fall away from your ears. Soften your face. All right, first time here today and you notice. You're gonna flip the front palm. Reach back, peaceful warrior. Cartwheel your hands to the mat. You're gonna move through vinyasa or make your way back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you take a breath in and that left leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, you step it in between your hands, low lunge. Inhale, the arms reach out in front of you, interlace all but the index fingers. Take a breath in. Take off, warrior three. Left leg straightens, right leg lifts. Fingers are reaching forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, right toes touch down. You come up to high crescent lunge. Unclasp the hands. On an inhale, exhale, they come to heart center. Inhale, you lean forward over the left thigh. Exhale, right elbow to the outside of the left knee, twist it open. And take a breath in. Hands come down to frame the left foot. Right hand stays down. Left hand comes up. Low lunge twist. All right, stay in the moment, in the magic here, in this pose. All right, take a breath in. Left hand's gonna come down. You're gonna spin the right foot down, come up to warrior two, facing the right side of the room. So left knee stacks over the left ankle. Seal the outside edge of the right foot to the mat. Keep bending into that left knee. Let the hips sink. Soften the face. Maybe you close your eyes. You're gonna flip the front palm. You're gonna stretch back, peaceful warrior. Cartwheel your hands to the mat. Move through vinyasa. And make your way back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, you're going to take your knees wide to the edges of the mat. Hips are going to sink towards the heels. Belly's going to come in between the thighs. You're going to come into child's pose. Oh, what a magical pose, right? Right, this pose of pause, of grounding, of dropping in, of coming back to the superpower of the breath. Coming back into the body. I think sometimes we spend time waiting for something to happen to us or magic to come to us, right? But if we trust and we are open and we are mindful and in the moment, we realize that we are the magic and that we create it. Hey, Chris. All right, so if you're popping in, this will be on my Facebook page, or it'll be on the Balance Webster YouTube channel, so you can take class whenever you want. So here, as you breathe in and you breathe out, notice. Notice how you feel. Walk the fingertips forward, tuck the toes, lift the hips, come into downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, you take a breath in and a breath out. You look forward, walk, stop, or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Right leg lifts in the air behind you, standing splits. Right, so we've been here. So really ground down into the left foot. Press through the sole of the right foot. Hug the belly button into the spine. Heart is open. Beautiful. You're going to take a breath in. Arms are going to reach in front of you. You know where we're going, and release all but the fingertips. All right, so we went from standing splits to warrior three. You're going to take a breath in. You're going to come up into tree with fingers interlaced. You got Charlie's Angel's arms reaching up overhead. Right, sole of the right foot comes to the inside of the left thigh, or the calf, toes touch down on the ground, right? Right, and sometimes this pose cannot feel very magical. Like, let's be really honest about that. Because you wobble, right? And you get challenged. But you know, the magic comes in the challenges, right? So breathe in and breathe out. Get out of your head, into the magic of your body, right? Because the body has this knowing and wisdom, and that's where the power is, that's where the magic is, but we forget that because we get all up in here. Take a breath in. And the exhale, the right foot comes down to the mat, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, you fold. Heart lifts on an inhale. Exhale, you move through vinyasa. Rinse it off. So you're down, downward facing dog. Right? You're gonna take a breath in, you look forward, walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. Left leg lifts on an inhale. You're in standing split, so fingertips are down on the mat. If you want to challenge yourself, you can walk your hands towards your ankle, play around with the balance. All right, are you breathing? Right, that's the magic, the breath. The breath fuels it. It's the superpower. Take a breath in. Inhale, and those arms reach in front of you. Interlace all but the index fingers. Now here we are in warrior three. Really flex through the left foot. Pull up through the standing leg. Take a breath in, keeping the hands interlaced. You're gonna come up to standing, come into tree, sole of the left foot on the inside of the right calf, thigh, or toes touch down on the mat. Right, different side. Right side could be total magic. Left side could be a total not magic, right? It's okay. How we respond to the challenge, that's where the power lies, that's where the magic happens, that's where the growth occurs. So you breathe and you notice. You notice the thoughts, you know how you talk to yourself, you notice the sensation. You unclasp your hands. Left foot comes down to the mat. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, you fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. You move through vinyasa. Last flow. Great, that might be magic to your ears. From downward facing dog. And you take a breath in and a breath out. You're gonna look forward, walk, step, or jump your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, you fold. You're gonna bend the knees, sit the hips, chair. Right, did you think, oh, I was gonna get through class without chair? That would have been pure magic. Not gonna happen, friends. Take a breath in. Exhale, you lower the hips a little bit closer to the mat. We're not staying here long. Take a breath in. Exhale, you drop the hips. Take a breath in. Exhale, hips come all the way down to the mat. Legs reach up, right? So the feet are flexed, you're in boat pose. Right, magic pose for the abs. Right, so your arms can reach in front of you, they can come behind your thighs, they can touch down on the mat, and you're gonna breathe. I'm just gonna hang out here in boat. And maybe you shake, maybe you quake, and that's okay. But you breathe. Take a breath in. Exhale, the soles of the feet come to the mat. You're gonna have your fingertips point towards your butt. You're gonna lift your hips and come into reverse tabletop. Maybe you drop your head. Take a breath in. Exhale, you lower down. Feet lift, you come into boat. You're good. You keep breathing. Heart lifts, shoulders fall away from the ears. Are you clenching your jaw? Right? How's the space between your eyes? Is it crinkly? Soften it. It's not that bad. Take a breath in, exhale, the feet come down, hands come down, lift the hips, reverse tabletop. This time on the exhale, you're gonna lower the hips and you're gonna come all the way down to the mat. You're gonna lie down. You're gonna hug the knees into the chest. You're gonna rock side to side. You're gonna take a breath in. You're gonna reach in between your thighs. You're gonna grab the outside edges of your feet and you're gonna come into happy baby, right? So we started with half of a happy baby. This time we're gonna go full on happy baby. Right, so the soles of the feet are shining up towards the ceiling. Right, the knees are moving down towards the armpit. The spine is long. Maybe you rock side to side. Maybe you have stillness. And you just breathe, and you breathe into the magic of this pose. Where can you find ease? Where can you find life? Where can you find the joy? Like, magic is joyful, right? Magic is silly. The magic is you, right? So whatever you are, be that. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Release the grip on your feet. Left leg goes out long, right knee comes in. Cross the left knee over. No, right knee over the body. And just back where we started, but notice how it feels now compared to the beginning. And don't judge it, just notice it, right? Take a breath in. You come back to center. That right leg goes out long, left knee comes in. Take the right hand, cross the left knee over the body. Come into this twist on this side. Take a breath in. You come back to center. Hug both knees into the chest and then drop both knees over to the right. Arms can go out wall to wall. You can look out over the left shoulder. Keep the shoulder blades on the mat. Right, and magic doesn't have to be complicated, right? Like, it's as simple as the breath. And take a breath in. You come back to center. Drop the knees over to the left. Look out over the right shoulder. You take a breath in, both legs go straight up in the air. Hands can be by your side. If you have a block, you can put it underneath your back. You can point your feet, you can flex your feet. You can put your hands underneath your low back for some support. There is something very powerful about when the mind and the heart and the body are in alignment, right? And we can practice that on our mat, right? So that when we go out into the wild, we know what that feels like. We can recognize the magic. We can make the magic. Take a breath in and a breath out. Right foot comes down to the mat on the exhale, and the left foot comes down. Legs go out long, heels to the high corners of the mat, let the feet splay open. Take a full belly breath in and a long breath out. Let the back side of your body get heavy, sink into the mat. Here we are, the most magical pose in this practice, right? Shavasana. Let the body and mind rest. Right, and even here, your mind may drift. It's okay. Come back. Just like most things, that which we practice becomes stronger. So maybe noticing the magic becomes the practice. Right? The practice of noticing awareness. And then when it shows up, you can greet it. Or when you need to tap into it, you remember that it's within you always. We often think of experiences as magical. And maybe they are, but it's you, it's us, it's me. It's who we are, who we bring to that experience that brings the magic. Start to deepen your breath. Bring some movement into your fingers and your toes. Keeping your eyes closed, roll gently to your right side and pause. And soak up these last moments. When you're ready, help yourself up to seated at the top of your mat. Together, take a breath in, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center, pause. Let your thumbs rest on your heart space. Feel the heartbeat, the life inside you, the magic that lives there. Breathe into that. Together, take a full breath in and a long breath out. The light and truth in me sees and honors that in each of you. Thank you for sharing a part of your evening with me. Together we say, Namaste.